Oh yeah. I'm gonna post this because freaky. So, I went through a phase where I was like very paranoid about the concept of like axe murder. Okay? Okay. So, but that was like recently. Like, I think it's a normal thing to be afraid of. People are like scared of the dark because, like, what if they can't see everything? You know, that kind of thing. And that's like a very real thing that's out there. But you know what? I did miss a day of work for just a mental health day. Because I did become so paranoid about axe murder for one day. I was like, I just need a day off. I need a day to like meditate, like cool down, chill out. Like, I know that it's not realistic to be as afraid of it as I was that day. So I was like, I can tell this is just like a passing moment of like anxiety about this. So much crippling anxiety that I had one day that I just didn't go into work because like technically axe murder is out there. Then a couple weeks pass. And very recently, during the time that I was sick, I did find out about the one axe murder in New York. At least that's what they said it was. Like, unfortunately, something happened to a woman, and that's what it was. And I did post a video talking about some ways people can like spiritually protect themselves and also not associate it with them because I've spent a lot of time thinking about that concept. And then during the same time off from work, I ended up getting fired from the job. But it was during the time that I worked at the job that I ended up becoming so paranoid about that concept that I spent a mental health day, which I would rarely do. Like, there were times when I had technically even like worse mental health, but like I still would go into my job and be fine and stuff because I wasn't like, it wasn't something I was like paranoid about. But then this was, so yeah, I thought, okay, it's fine to have like one mental health day, cool down, and I was fine after that. Because sometimes you just need a day to like be like, yeah, these are scary things that are technically out there, but I don't need to like associate it with my life in any way. And it's fine to just need a minute to like process the world. And, it's not weird. It's one mental health day. Anyway, the people in my job did not believe in a mental health day. They're like, if you do it again, we'll fire you type situation. I was like, as if having that level of anxiety is something you can really control. It was not a controllable level of anxiety about that, which is why I took like one mental health day. And that was normal, and I was fine after that. But these things should not be predictable in any way, shape, or form if they're a completely random event that was unplanned. So, somebody somewhere planned that for longer than multiple weeks, I would assume, possibly for that person, unless obviously whatever I sensed or felt was completely unrelated. I've never met the people, so I don't know. But, like, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying, though. It's possible that those things were planned for people in a way. Or, again, completely unrelated, and it's just happening a lot out there right now, so I don't know. But, yeah, I was just stressed. But losing my job happens when you need a mental health day, apparently, or it can, because they don't believe in that, because the people running every company are like 50 or older or something out there in the world. And those are some of the older people older than that, like 60, 70, whatever, older than that, don't believe in like mental health days. So, yeah, I don't know. But that was a weird coincidence because it wasn't something I had like always like been afraid of my whole life. So to have a moment where I actually have to take a day off of work because of that, because of just a fear of that, again, not related to me directly, but like, it's weird to like you know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like a coincidence to have to take a mental health day for that and then have something actually happen to a real person who I've obviously never met, but like across the country, but to have that news come out like just a couple weeks after, like maybe like a week or two, you know what I'm saying? Or like 2 weeks. But then I really was sick, which is the part where like, and I really was trying to get a doctor's note, but they fired me anyways. So, but like, for that to all, and it was just a couple days after the news came out about that woman in New York. So, yeah. Anyway, I've also always been a little bit afraid of New York City because there's so many people and there's so much, wrong place at the wrong time and stuff, and it's always been something that stresses me out about that many people and places and how rare it is to be the only person walking down a street by yourself and how much of an opportunity that is, and just all of that is something that stresses me out. But yeah. But just the coincidence of that, weird. Weird. But that's all.